Can you introduce yourself to us briefly?
Yeah, my name is Schmolling, and I'm from Florida.
Why did you choose to live in London?
So when I was choosing my campuses with ESCP Europe, I wanted to choose two major cities. London is a major financial hub around the world, and this was one of the top locations for where I want to work.
What were your expectations about the city before you moved to London?
I think all my expectations were pretty much met. I mean, I wanted to really network really well, learn more about the city, learn about the culture, learn about the work environment, and basically that was it. And I've been pretty happy with the situation so far.
Did you experience any challenges when you moved to London, and if so, can you explain how you overcame them?
Honestly, no. I think everything works pretty well here in London. Transportation, the culture, the environment. There's really not any challenges for me. Obviously, I also am an English speaker, so language wasn't a problem. The culture is actually quite similar to the US, so it was relatively easy.
Can you describe London in one word based on when you arrived and now?
Extraordinary and still extraordinary.
Would you do anything differently if you could start all over again?
Um, Only thing I'd maybe do a little differently is maybe try to live a little closer to the city. Although I really like where I live, it's a lot cheaper than where a lot of my other classmates are living, and it's quite nice. But it would have been a little nicer to live a little bit more in the city center, even though it would be more expensive.
How would you compare and contrast studying in London and in the United States?
So I went to Florida State University. It's the capital of Florida. It's one of the largest universities in the state, or actually in the nation. Around 40,000 students go there, and the entire city is basically revolves around the university, which is much different than here in London. Obviously, there's tons of other universities. This campus is actually quite small, but I've never studied in a major city like this. My city was maybe a couple 100,000 people compared to 8 to 9 million. So I mean, it's definitely different. Here, you can maybe have a little bit more of an inclusive environment and get to know your classmates a little bit better. But the second hand, it can also lead to clickiness and certain things that might not be as good as it could be on a larger campus with a larger population.
Can you give one example of how studying in London has advantaged you professionally?
So I'm trying to move into the financial sector or consulting, and I think we also got a lot of good opportunities here at the school from our consulting projects and networking events and other career events that were going on here in London that I probably would have gotten at other cities around Europe, since it still is one of the major financial hubs. Even we'll see what happens after Brexit, but there's definitely been a good opportunity for the career path that I want to take here in London.